Welcome to the world of luxurious hair. I'm Anastasia Love, founder of Studio Queen Hair and an expert with over 20 years of experience in hair extensions. We don't just create hairstyles, we bring confidence, style, and a new you. In our studio, we use only the finest materials and the new techniques to make your hair look flawless and natural. And here is a special offer just for the Modern Day Wife listeners. Mention Modern Day Wife when you book your appointment and receive 10% off your first visit. Feel the difference with Studio Queen Hair because your hair deserves the very best. Text us on Instagram, Studio Queen Hair, or call or text 213-271-5555. And remember, always be the queen.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Modern Day Wife podcast. This is Megan Fialkoff. I'm co-founder of Modern Day Wife. And I'm so excited because we have a very special guest today. And it's amazing that we'll actually be able to have the podcast interview right now because we have been schmoozing for the past 20 minutes about everything except makeup. Oh, we're now going to on this podcast talk about this woman and her incredible makeup line and everything that she's done and what she has coming up and so on. And I'll give a little bit of an introduction. So her name is Laura Geller, as I'm sure you can see from the screen or if you're listening. And her love affair with beauty began at an early age, a passion that led her to become a successful makeup artist, working under the bright lights of Broadway and behind the scenes with celebrities and socialites. It was Laura's devotion to making makeup work for real women that led her to create her own beauty brand, believing that beauty is for everyone and should be uncomplicated, inclusive, and fun. So with that, please welcome or hello, Laura.
Hello. Thank you for that lovely introduction. Thank you. That sums it up.
Well, and it's very special because what I get when I read that bio is the rich history of New York City and how you have been through that and evolved with all the culture of theater and the arts and so on. So what has it been like? I know this is a little bit off the cuff, but what has it been like for you, this journey of evolving and expanding your career in New York?
You know, it's so funny because when I think about like how my career started, I was this young gal from the outskirts of New York City, and I wanted to go into the business of makeup, but I didn't know what that meant. I just knew, oh, be a makeup artist. I loved makeup. And it's not because I wore it or my mother was into it. I would see like people in my neighborhood growing up, the moms. My mother was very simple. She didn't do a lot of makeup, but I'd see these women transforming themselves and I'd be like, wow. So I went to beauty school, got my license, but didn't learn a lick about makeup because back then you needed a cosmetology license to do makeup, which you don't today. So when you went to cosmetology school, you learned hairstyling. I didn't want to learn hair. I was not interested. But they felt compelled to send me somewhere because I felt frustrated. I was like, I didn't learn makeup here. So I went to School of Visual Arts in Manhattan just because the owner of the beauty school found this makeup course and he's like, oh, there's a makeup course in Manhattan at School of Visual Arts. And I went, and much to my dismay at the time, I wasn't learning about how to put on blush and lipstick and eyeshadow. I was learning about how to use a bald cap, how to make someone look aged, how to make someone look like blood was coming out of their face. It was theater and film and stage makeup for the arts. But the one thing you had to learn, the one common denominator was the science of and the anatomy of the face. And so, unbeknownst to me, I was getting that education, and it turned me into a better makeup artist because I understood sculpting a face and how to create highs and lows through contour and highlight. So I started doing TV and film when I came out of the course, and I loved it. It was fun. And it sounded really sexy. Like I got to work with some of the late greats. I mean, Audrey Hepburn, I mean,
Oh my
you name it.
God.
Yeah, I have pictures with all of them. I mean, they were in their older years. I mean, it sounds like I'm ancient, which I am, but anyway, on another topic. But my point was that I was doing that. And while it sounded really, I mean, I worked on every major celebrity from Hollywood that was, back in the day, very famous, still today. But then every now and again, I'd work on a real woman and I'd watch her come alive as I painted her face. And then I'd watch her say, "Oh, how do I do that? Can you teach me?" And I'd go, "Yeah, I guess I could try, you know." And then I started teaching it to my private customers. And then they were like, "Well, how do I buy it?" And then I was like, wait, this is going in a whole other direction that I didn't plan for. And then I would collectively go shopping to buy their makeup, drop it off at their doorman or leave it with my doorman. And I avoided the obvious, which was that I was building a business and I didn't even realize it. I was amassing a huge clientele in Manhattan of not just TV, film celebrities, but then private clients. And so, I mean, 7 days a week, I was doing weddings on the weekend. I mean, till this day, I can't go anywhere, Megan, without someone saying, "Oh, you did my wedding," or "You did my mother's wedding," or "You did
Wow.
my bat mitzvah." Like I was the queen of doing special occasions. I
Yeah.
really was. So
Yeah.
I wound up opening a store in Manhattan. I had it for 21 years where we actually taught makeup. We had private booths and we taught it. I like the education of teaching people. What good is it to show somebody something or do it to somebody if you can't empower them to do it themselves?
Totally. Well, first of all, that's amazing. And I actually have it's not necessarily makeup, but it's eyebrows. So I was referred to go to this Armenian woman out here in Los Angeles. And, women from that area of the world are so glamorous and they really know
Got it.
how to do makeup. Well, it could be debatable, but they really know glam.
Yeah.
So I went to this woman and she was like, "I can't do anything for you. You have no brows." She was like, "But I'm going to tell you how to make your brows and how to make them have an arch." And she took out this brow pomade. Is that, I don't even know how to pronounce
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
pomade,
Hmm.
the stick, and you're seeing what she taught me. And she basically was like, "You're going to pull it up and then you're going to pull it down and you're going to put it just a little bit here. And we're not making it liquidy. We're not making it darker. And these are not arches that are real. I just brush them up and so on." So it's similar to what you're saying. It's changed my life. It's made me
Yeah.
attractive, and she taught me how to do it. And so I bought the exact product right then and there, and that's what I've been using for years.
Wow, your brows really are remarkable. Like it defines your whole face.
Well, it's very nice because I do not, these are not arches. Like probably in real life, you would see a little bit, the coloring there, but
So what? We all enhance. So it's about enhancement. That's why I'm in this business, because I love that, you could take anything and create enhancement. And I just feel like it's every woman's birthright to feel good about how they look. And it's easy to do once you get the right person to help you. Really is.
Totally. Well, and one other thing I want to mention is, so I grew up in Woodbury in Long Island, and we had a store. I do not remember the name, but it was in the Woodbury Commons on Long Island.
Okay.
And in the year 2001, 2002, because my friends would walk and I would walk there all the time, your makeup line was one of the featured makeup brands in this bougie boutique, because Woodbury,
Oh,
is a nice area.
wow.
So I've known about your brand since I'm 41, since I was
Yeah.
16 or 17. And it was the fancier brand.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was more, you had to be in the know, and it
That's right.
sweet. And and so I don't even remember what we bought at the time because it's so
Yeah.
long ago, but it was a privilege, and you felt like you were in some sort of inner
Yeah.
circle that you knew about this
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
That's so cool.
it's amazing. And so the baked blush, which is something you're known
Mhm.
for. So
Yeah.
maybe just tell us a little bit, like, how did you come up with this and why?
Yeah. So what happened was in 1997, I had my first appearance on QVC. I was discovered at an event in New York City by the beauty buyer, and she gave me the opportunity to come to QVC. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And I'm still, by the way, on QVC it's now, I'm the longest standing color brand on QVC where the same founder is on 28 years later. It's crazy. And the thing about QVC is, and I didn't know it at the time, because the first item I put on was a contour and highlight kit, funny enough. I didn't know what else to do, was that they wanted newness. And in order to have longevity on QVC, and this is just a tip for anybody that's going to ever think about going on QVC or entertained it, and not just in beauty, but for having a career there, it's about new. What's next? What's innovative? What's different than what's in the marketplace? So from 1997 to 2002, I was on and I would bring new items, but they weren't necessarily, I mean, they were all successful, but they weren't edgy or different or unique. And I would go to every makeup show imaginable. And then suppliers and R&D labs would send me samples of things they're working on. And QVC was really pushing me for something new. And I opened my drawer one day, and every day for years, I was using a bronzer. And I looked at it and I thought, what is this? And it's sort of, I don't have it in front of me, but I'll show you. This is the foundation, and it sort of had that look, that melange look to it.
Mm.
And I thought, what the heck is this? And who gave this to me? Because I've been using it for years. And I finally tracked down the rep for this Italian lab. And I said, what is this bronzer that I'm using? And he goes, between you and me, that's not a bronzer. And I'm like, wait a minute. He goes, well, that color is a color for women of color. And so it's foundation for women of color. I'm like, I've been using it as a bronzer. He goes, well, good for you. I said, but I need to understand, like, what do you mean it's made in Italy? And he said, you know what? Are you interested? I'll take you to Italy and I'll take you to the factory. Like, twist my arm. So I went. And when I saw, Megan, how this was made, because I understood how makeup was made, and most of it is machine made. This was handmade.
Oh my God.
And I said, I don't understand. And that was the first baked item I launched in 2002. So now we're talking about what, how many decades later? Yeah. And it was called Bronze and Brighten. That was the first thing I launched. And I did it in one color. And it was what I used on my face every day. And it was such a success that then the customers were like, well, what else do you have? And so I expanded. I then made the bronzer in like a porcelain, a medium, and a deep. And then I came out with foundation, which is what I just showed you on the screen, which is Balance and Brighten. And that is our top selling item. We sell one like on Amazon I think it's like every 3 seconds.
I was reading that. I was like, I can't even, I don't even understand that
Me
number.
too. I
Right?
still don't. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I think what the advice I would tell anybody is, you got to find the white space and what's different. And it wasn't that it was just different and it was the white space. It also was that it performed well. And, it's not just that it's pretty to look at or handmade, but it also is it's easy to use. It's very user friendly and kind of goof proof, but the results are kind of miraculous. And so that line of baked is now Blush and Brighten, which is where you started asking me about. It is Bronze and Brighten, Balance and Brighten. It expands to eyeshadows that are baked, concealers, liquid foundations that are like liquid, but kind of like has a half-baked story to, I mean, like everything that we could do in this factory in Italy, we do. And it has really propelled the brand. And I'm really fortunate for that because, listen, there are other brands that make baked, but they just never talked about it. I brought it to the forefront. I mean, I didn't invent it. I just discovered it, really.
Well, so now, you've been doing this a long time, and now with social media and TikTok Shop, which I have never even been on
Oh
personally, I
my
just know
God, it's
about it.
crazy.
And there's so many brands, and now you have the Korean skin, where I'm kind of getting to skincare too, but there's so many skincare and hair care and beauty and all these celebrities making makeup brands and the white
Yeah.
labeling and so on. Like, how do you navigate all of that?
Well, you stay in your lane, and that's important. I do think that we have a leg up because I'm still very front facing to my customer. And I'm the one who's on air. I'm the one, I mean, I don't do the TikTok shops. I have a lovely gal that works with me named Amber who does most of that. I have done them though. And we're going to be doing a lot more of that because we see that that's the next forefront of how people are buying things. I haven't purchased like that. It's still very foreign to me. It really is.
I don't even have TikTok, to be honest.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so
Stay
behind.
away because it consumes your time. It's just all time consuming, all of these different platforms. It's crazy.
Just to get on, before we did the podcast, we were talking about dating, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to a friend and he was like, you need to streamline your apps just for that subject, right? So same thing. Last night I deleted two of them off my phone. So I'm all about streamlining the apps in all areas of life.
Yeah, I know it's really, listen, unless your business survives on needing it. I was at dinner last night, and most of my contemporaries are not really on a lot of social media platforms, maybe Facebook, some on Instagram. But I just was like saying, you're so lucky because I'm scrolling all day long. I'm looking at my competitors. I'm looking at who's copying me. I'm on. And it really takes up a lot of my time. And I don't like it, but I have to do it. I have to do it. It is entertaining and you can lose yourself in it, but for me it's work. And then of course, because I'm the front facing founder of this brand, I have a very young team that's a social team. I have a whole team behind me, and they have me doing these crazy TikToks. And, I'm like, you got to be kidding. You don't want me to do that, do you? Just do it. Just do it.
Right.
And
You have to
they
be
get,
a client. It's like,
it's so crazy. It's just crazy. So, and then I do it, and then I don't remember that I did it. And then a couple months later, they repurpose it, and then I understand why I had to do it. Like, it's just, if you go onto my own, well, if you go onto Laura Geller Beauty's TikTok or even Laura Geller Beauty's Instagram page, you see me doing all these silly things. And so my comedic, if I needed another career, it would be comedy because frankly, I enjoy it a little bit.
I can see that. I think he would be really good, actually.
I don't like it a little bit. So I do know there's something in the for my next chapter if I when I retire from makeup.
Seriously, Well, okay, well, this kind of segues, talking about what's unique to your brand and so on. I know that you have your baked gelato illuminator and you have a whole new comeback, we could call it, for the fall. And you're working with a celebrity that I've known about for a long time because I know she worked a lot or she used to be really good friends with Madonna. And I've always admired her. I think the one movie that I really loved her character was Goodfellas, right? And
Correct.
she's a great actress. She's very New York as far as I understand. So
She is.
that's Debbie and how do you pronounce her last name? Mazar?
Mazer.
Mazar.
Mazer.
So
Debbie Mazer.
so what made you want to bring Debbie to the forefront of the brand? Tell us a bit about this project.
So Debbie, but a lot of people don't know that her history is that she was started as a makeup artist in the 80s.
Oh, no, I did
She
not know that.
she was Madonna's makeup artist.
Okay,
That's
that's
that's how she
that's
became
the
good
fun
friends.
fact I've ever heard, like in a month that I've heard.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
she was Madonna's makeup artist. So I knew of her. I never knew her, but I was always so envious because, she and Madonna, oh my God. And I always wanted to be like her because she got to do all these rock stars. And I was working in the world of makeup, but I didn't have those clients that she had. And so she started as a makeup artist and she'd be on sets. And she started realizing I love the whole idea of being an actress. But why we teamed up with her is because she lives in Italy full time in Tuscany.
Mhm.
And she lives not far from where my factories are. And we thought about it. She's age appropriate. We speak to an over 40 customer. She is over 40. She's got beautiful skin. She's a New Yorker. She's from Queens. And so my team and I were like, I don't think there's anybody better. I mean, she is in younger. She's really a phenomenal actress. So we teamed up with her, and that whole campaign is coming out very soon, if not now, when you hear this podcast and see this podcast. And we were just in Italy in May, end of May, beginning of May. And I met her. I talked to her before that, but I met her for the first time. And it was like the sister that I always dreamed of having. Like, my God, she's hilarious.
Yeah,
She's very edgy, and give her a couple glasses of wine, just saying, that's not going to be part of the campaign. And this is what she is going to be.
oh,
This
oh.
is
Is
gilded
that
honey.
highlighter?
It's highlighter.
Okay.
It
And it's
is
the Baking
highlighter.
Gelato Illuminator. This is the name,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah. And many years ago, when we were in all Sephora stores, we launched Gilded Honey, and it went viral. Before there was social media, it went viral. And we couldn't keep it in stock, both in distribution, QVC, but the customer that we have leaned into in the last 3 years, they all would say, I don't wear like shimmer or frost and that Gilded Honey we had was super frosted, like it was like headlights. And so there's been a bit of a revolt from people wanting it to come back, not just my clientele, but people who used to use it and love it. And I thought, I won't bring it back the same way. I want to bring it back differently now. So we worked with our artisans in Italy, and we put ingredients in there like boron nitrate and hyaluronic acid and squalene, things that have more adhesion so that when you put it on, and I'll take the chance and be edgy and do it right now, um,
Yeah, let me see.
it clings right away. I
Wow.
don't know if you can see
Yes,
this.
I saw it go on. Like
Yeah,
it was like almost like an app where
yeah.
it paints on with the brush.
Yeah, and in fact, there will be a special brush that it comes with, but it doesn't have that heavy frost, and it's more hydrating so that if you've got bad lines and wrinkles here and crow's feet, you can wear it comfortably. And it's really a different formulation. It's really hydrating now and super conditioning. So
Wow.
for 3 years we were working on this, and we finally landed it, and we're really excited about the relaunch of it. I think there's going to be, I mean, we once did something called BeautyCon at the Javits Center.
Yeah.
We did it once, and I'll never forget, social media wasn't a thing then. And there were people coming up to our booth going, "Oh, we're the Gilded Honeys." I'm like, "Wait, what?" There was a group of women that started a group called the Gilded Honeys because they loved the highlighter. Patrick Starr, the makeup artist with his own brand, One Size, I didn't even know who he was. He came up to me, and when he walked away after he said, "I bow to you, Queen," he said, "Gilded Honey is everything." He walked away, and my team was like, "You do know that's Patrick Starr." I was like, "I don't know." And I'm too old, obviously. But I mean, it was a thing. So we pray and hope that everybody will receive it. And you can use it wet, and it becomes a little bit more.
Wow.
We will get you and the other Megan
Okay.
some
Also
Gilded Honey.
pronounced Megan, but spelled Meagan. But
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, we have
Oh,
a full collection of
yeah.
Megans.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So yeah, that's the backstory. So we're really excited to, launch this, and we're having two pop-ups. One's going to be in your area.
Yeah, tell me about the pop-ups. What can people expect? Where are
Yeah.
they? Tell me.
So we will be announcing more about where and the location, but it's October 16th in LA,
Okay.
and then it'll be October 23rd in New York.
Okay.
And it's for our customers and anybody who's a fan of Laura Geller or who maybe just discovered Laura Geller. And then we're going to have immersive experiences. We're going to be giving product away. We're going to have uh, demonstrations, makeup touch-ups, and then photographs. And it's going to be really fun. The one in LA is going to be from 11 to 6, but I won't get there till probably 2 o'clock that day because I'll probably stay 2 to 6. And then in New York, it's also going to be from 11 to 6 in October 23rd in New York. very exciting.
So
We've
exciting.
never done anything like this.
Oh, I love. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you something, and it's even for my own business, right? We specialize primarily in events. And with all AI and all the various things, the one thing that I feel pretty comfortable about is that you can't replace in-person interactions, right? And so same thing, it's interesting with makeup. So much of it now is YouTube and Instagram and these various things. And I don't watch those videos because I can't replicate it how they do it
It's
on
hard.
video. I've never been able to do it. So I think the opportunity to go in person to a store or to an event like this, so someone can actually show you how to contour and how to contour with your shape of your face.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
like I struggle even with like where you place bronzer. Like you watch, like I'm telling you, you watch these videos and they're going like this and all these things. And I guess young
All
girls
these things.
replicate it. I'm not tracking.
Yeah, well, you don't really need contour, to be honest with you. So I think if you needed it, you probably would have learned by now because we all know what we are lacking. And if you had a round face, it'd probably be something you would have taken more time to learn about. But you truly don't need it. And frankly, I don't teach it unless someone really asks me for it or needs it
Hmm.
because they just don't have any angles on their face. So it's not something that I'd rather show highlight because highlight just calls attention to where you want to call attention. And it's more goof proof anyway.
Is that what the purpose of highlighter is? It's to,
Yeah. Yeah. So highlight and contour in Italian, it's chiaroscuro. It means light and dark. And that's the first thing I learned at School of Visual Arts is how to play with dark and light in art to retract something and bring forward. So dark detracts, which is why I wear black pants every day. And then light brings forward. So any place on your face that you want to call attention to, you would put something light.
oh,
And that's highlight. So under the brow to lift the brow, center of the lid to make the lid look more open, in the Cupid's bow to make your lip look a little fuller. There's so many little places to do it. And it is a learning, but you can't make a mistake with it. It doesn't show up as a mistake the way brown lines can, which is why I try to stay away from contour these days.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fascinating. I'm sure that most people did not know that is the purpose of highlighter.
No, you're right. They didn't. I launched an item, it must be 10 years ago, and it had highlight in it. And I remember saying to my team, my product development team, let's bring in real women, maybe your moms, maybe some people in the office that work in logistics or that are not close to makeup. Let's put that highlighter in front of them and let's ask them to do that to their face and see how they react. And I remember we had it in front of everybody, and every woman who sat there went, okay, what is this? And I was like, it's answering the question. Don't assume people know just because you're in the business and you know. And I would say collectively, nobody knew what to do with that highlighter. Did not know.
No, it's the same thing with like you see so much on social media about girls who are super skinny, they have the space between their thighs, these
Yeah.
kinds of girls at the Soul Cycle. And it looks like everyone looks like this. You get the idea. But
Yes.
really, the majority of the population doesn't look like that, doesn't
Does
know
not.
what they're doing with makeup or hair. Like you still see people with the Farrah Fawcett haircut.
Oh yeah, a
I'm like,
hundred percent.
what planet do we live on here, right? They still haven't come up into the latest fashions or their hairstylist hasn't. So you
Yeah.
really can't, and even I'm in this industry where I have beauty at all of my events and I still am, hardly scraping at the surface on what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
It's a new mom. When you
Yeah.
become a new mom, you don't wear makeup for years.
Yeah. 100%. And I think I'm really sensitive to that. I'm doing this so long and I do it with women of all walks of life, of all ethnicities. And I see so many women that don't have access to what we have access to living in a metropolitan city. And I understand and I'm empathetic that they don't know where to start and they do need a little direction. And it is good that there's social media out there. And I do think since we are sort of on the forefront of speaking to women over 40, and maybe even more over 50, all the way through 90. Um, I do think we have an edge. I think there are a lot of people doing it now, and there's been a lot of copycats. But I'm glad there is because there's much more access for people to learn. And, I just did an event with NBC. It was NBC Stages, and it was their first one, and it was here in New York. And there were a lot of women that flew in from all over the world for it. And one woman stood up and she cried, and her hair was completely gray, which by the way, love and could be gorgeous. She doesn't even have to color her hair, not a stitch of makeup, but she wanted the help. She wanted to know, where do I begin? Who cuts my hair? How do I get it cut? Like, and should I color my hair? And where do I start with makeup? And we took her because we had, activations upstairs at NBC. There was hairdressers, there was makeup artists, and we invited her and we showed her a little bit. And, it's hard. I don't know in someone who's listening to this maybe, and they live somewhere where there's no access. Like, where do you go? You have to go to the closest metropolitan city.
Totally.
And
But
it,
also, even if you're in a metropolitan area, I think what also happens is because we're so busy, you also start to, for example, let's say you have like some weird, as you age, I've noticed these weird things on my skin and you start to kind of just, oh, whatever, whatever, whatever. And then what happens? And then you gain a little bit of weight and then this and all these things start to add up of it's too much to handle. So sometimes
yeah,
it's overwhelming. Like, where do I even start?
that's right. And then you don't do anything.
That's
I
right.
know. No, it's true. It's really true. I remember saying to her, because I went up to her after and told her about the activations, but I said, it's baby steps. You don't need to make yourself over. First of all, you're very attractive, and your gray hair could look better with the right toner in it. You don't even have to color your hair. I said, but it's baby steps. It's like put on a lipstick, you know, put
Yeah.
on a little blush, whatever you're comfortable with. You don't have to do the whole thing. Most of my friends are not makeup wearers. I told you I went to dinner last night, and three of my friends that were there, I could barely detect makeup on their face or on their eyes. But that's their lifestyle.
Mm.
They're not in the beauty industry. They are beautiful women naturally. There were certain things that stood out to me that I thought, like one of the gals had brow color on and it was too dark and it dominated her face. And I thought, she didn't ask me, do I call her and tell her? Because it was like I couldn't get my eyes off her eyebrows, and it shouldn't have been like that. And I probably will tell her at the right time, but I'd rather her wear nothing than to do it wrong,
Totally.
you know?
Funny quick thing, I did go to the dermatologist last week to have some of these things removed. That's why it's fresh in my mind.
Oh,
And we were talking about moles, right? Not that
yeah, you have to check that.
so, and I was like, I ask and so on. And I said, well, I have a friend who has something that doesn't look right. And do I say something? Do I not say something? And so similarly, what you're saying as a makeup artist, she's a dermatologist. And she's like, I know I go to parties all the time. And I'm like, do I tell this person you should get that looked at or no, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think people welcome it. I mean, it's the same friend that I once told, and I'm guessing she's not going to listen to this podcast. She's not, doesn't do that beauty stuff. And it's the same thing I once told her. She used to, I mean, this must be 30 years ago. She would do liner and she'd make a wing, but not the kind of wing we all try to aspire to get. And it was like always, and the only thing I would ever notice is this wing. And one day I remember saying to her, what's with the wings on your eyes? And she did not let me live that down. To this day, she'll go, how's my wings? So she definitely makes a joke, but there's no question she's sensitive.
Yeah.
So I will be very careful when I talk to her.
You know,
But
good. But you're
yeah,
helping her. So, okay. So
yeah.
let's get into like another makeup item here because you are a makeup guru. So let's
Okay.
talk about we talked about it briefly, but your Baked Balance and Brighten foundation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you sold over 12 million units.
Yeah.
It just became the first foundation to receive a seal of approval from the National Rosacea Society, which is very important to me. I don't have rosacea, but I've had other things. So tell us a bit about this product.
So all the baked is handmade, and the way it's made, and it's so fascinating. We actually have footage on laurageller.com. I think we have a video of how it's made, but it's pure pigment and it's mixed with antioxidants. That's it. And then it's baked. It's baked in ovens for 24 hours on terracotta. And I remember I would always talk about it. And one day, may she rest in peace, my mom, she said, why do you tell people it's made on terracotta if you're not explaining what terracotta does? And I said, okay. She changed the whole trajectory for me. Now I explain. Your plants are traditionally not metal pots. They're on terracotta, in terracotta pots. Because when you put water on your plant, terracotta holds hydration more. And so your soil will stay more hydrated. So these baked products, the blush, the balance and brighten, um, is hydrating. It looks like a powder. It goes on with the ease of a powder, but it's actually a cream because it starts its life as a cream. So it's imperceptible. You don't feel it, and it's good for you. It's
Can I
really
see
good.
it again? Can we see it?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And so
Love it.
it,
It's so juicy.
yeah, and it's and believe it or not, this color is fair. I wear medium. And we also on laurageller.com have a shade finder. So if you don't know how to pick your shade, we will help you. You just
Wow.
look for put in shade finder in the search bar and we'll help you pick your color. But it's so incredible. Look, we have other foundations. We have an SPF, something called Better Than Block. That's one of my favorites. We have Double Take, which has more coverage than the Balance and Brighten. You know, you have to meet your skin where your needs are of your skin. And if you're 40, you may not be dehydrated, but if you're 60 plus, you're probably dehydrated like me. So we have different formulas for different needs of your skin at different times a year, at different stages in your life. But Balance and Brighten has turned out to be our number one selling foundation over the years, and we just
Wow.
can't keep it in stock. It takes 7 months to make it. It's handmade.
That is
So, and there's a lot of breakage when they make it because when it comes out of the oven, it's very fragile. So when they put it into a compact like this, and all our compacts have that mirror, when they put it in, sometimes it breaks. So it's very carefully made. Um, yeah,
wow.
it's really cool.
Incredible. Well, okay, let's see what else we want to, we've been here for a bit. So,
What can we talk
uh,
about the Fran Drescher kit?
yes. Well, that actually I was looking for my questions here. I'm like, I want to talk about Fran Drescher. So,
Yeah,
tell us about what you have. You have these amazing women that you're connected with. Like
yeah.
so New York, which makes me so, like this is the best, just us together being
Once an East Coaster, always an East
oh,
Coaster,
totally.
sister. Can't
I'll
get it out of your blood.
no, and I would never want to. So,
Yeah.
okay, so tell us about Fran. What are you doing with Fran?
So we partnered with Fran 5 years ago, actually, and she discovered me because her mother was watching me on QVC. She was at her mother's house, and her mother was watching me, and her mother asked Fran, "Did you ever hear of her?" And Fran was like, "No, but okay, she's a New Yorker." And my team reached out, and she has a foundation called Cancer Schmancer. And it is actually an unbelievable thing because it's about education and advocacy about, finding early detection, no matter what she's a cancer survivor. And I am too. And she started Cancer Schmancer. And by the way, she has events. You should sign up on her site for people just about better health and what we are cleaning with and what toxins are out there. And I
Wow.
mean, she's pretty unbelievable. And so every year she has decided to team up with us, which she doesn't need to do. But what we do is we let her make now and pick what she wants. So, for an example, this October, we're doing a collab with
Oh,
her,
love that.
and
Yeah.
she picked these baked eyeshadows.
That's
The
like the perfect palette, by the
It's
way.
perfect, and
Wow.
it comes with a double-ended brush to put it on. So you've got your brush.
How do you know which one to use?
Yeah, that's a good question. To be honest with you, I would have probably changed this brush a little bit.
Okay.
But the fuller one is for putting on lid color, She demonstrates it. It's on her site and my site where she used the pink color for breast cancer awareness. October is breast cancer and awareness. She used this all over her lid. So she used the wider brush for that.
Okay.
She used the smaller brush to do under the brow
Okay.
and to do on the inside corners to get some brightness. And then she used the smaller brush, the tip of it, to do liner under her eyes. And
Oh,
there's a
that's for
mirror.
liner, the dark
Yeah,
one,
you can
not
use
for the
liner
crease.
or crease. She
Okay.
does it for crease.
And do
She
you
did
do
it.
the full crease or do half the crease?
Everybody's eyes are different. I mean, for me,
It looks like
I
half.
do, I do higher. I don't go
Oh,
down like a inverted U. I do the outer corner and I sort of bring it up higher. That's a whole makeup lesson because I'm trying to raise my lids because everything softens as we get older. So I do my outer corner and I bring it up a little bit higher than my crease. I cheat it.
wow.
I cheat it. And then I use that same color underneath my lower lashes. I always do black across my top. I just like dark. Or, you could do a dark brown or a dark gray. And then, oh, actually,
And
ugh,
what's the dark pink for? Oh, yes. Tell me what this is.
so
Because
this is what comes with the kit. It's our version of a dark brown. It's gorgeous. I'll show you. Um, let's see if I did this
yeah,
right.
this is
Wait.
gorgeous. Is
Yeah.
this this is for the whole eye or it's where do you put
It's
that?
liner. It's
Oh, it's
liner.
liner. Oh, and it's nice and
Liner.
thick.
Yeah, but
I love that.
you can take it with an eyeshadow brush, like a soft eyeshadow brush, and use it for your outer corner and in your crease if you
Oh,
want.
wow.
But these are called kajals. And Megan, I'm going to tell you something. If ever your liner that you put on didn't stay or ran or didn't stay as dark as when you first did it, that all changes with kajal.
Okay, well,
This,
this is only like 2 hours and it's gone. So
yeah,
yes, answers.
it does not, and don't ask me what's in it. I don't know. And I don't care if it's bad for me. I don't care. I know
I
it's not bad for you, but
well,
it
reminds me of
lasts.
a reel where there's a reel on Instagram that says getting rid of all the cleaning products of this, making everything clean while she's driving to get her Botox. So you do the best you can, right? I
I
actually think
love that.
because it's true, we're all doing that.
Yeah.
And really the most important thing I actually think, and it's somewhere in my questions to you, is the animal cruelty to me is more important,
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
me that what I'm putting in my body. And I know that,
Yep.
yeah,
We
tell us.
got the certification, the bunny. I want to make sure I explain what that is to everybody, but I don't know where I put that in my notes, but I'll find it in a second. But, that's one of the things that we knew that we needed to be cruelty free. Listen, I don't know about you, but I have a dog
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
right at my feet, Gigi. She's the mascot for the Geller girls. We call them Gigi's, so I named her Gigi.
Oh,
Um, and that was really important to me. It's not tested on animals. And
totally.
so that's really important. But just so everybody knows, this kit we will be donating, so everybody knows, for the month of October, 50% of the proceeds of this kit will go to Cancer Schmancer, which is for, detecting early detection of cancer and advocacy. And then after that, after October, 20% of the proceeds of Fran's kit will go toward Cancer Schmancer. So it's really, if you had to start somewhere, I would start there. I mean, it's
Amazing.
really, yeah, it's our breast cancer awareness month kit that we do in October.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we have to. We have to help each other in any way we can and
Totally.
do our part.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's actually a really nice place to, I think, close this out.
Yeah, I agree.
So this was amazing. You have
So
so
much
many
fun.
exciting things coming up. And I think
Yeah,
I'm really excited for everyone to learn about what baked means and
me
how you
too.
have this product and all the things. So so we'll put we're gonna do a launch on Instagram and all the things with this podcast in time for people to support this program and
Oh, good.
after pop-ups and so on. So
Thank you.
so thank you for being with us today.
Oh, what a pleasure. It's just, I feel like I know you, and I think that's the East Coast in you, girlfriend.
Yes.
It really is. And you know what? You're invited to our pop-up. I'd love you to
I'm
come.
I'm coming
You
with or
need to,
without an invite.
I need to see you. I need to give you some of these products and we will get them to you before I even see you, and I need a hug.
Oh, I'm so excited. There's so
I
many.
need to see you.
Thank
Thank you for having
you.
me as your guest. I really appreciate it.
Totally. I loved every second of it. And thank you so much. And that's the
Thank you.
close of this episode.
Bye.